come upon them as labor pains come upon a child, or come upon a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. Jesus preached a lot on hell. In fact, he preached twice as much on hell as he did on heaven. And he preached more on hell than all the other gospel writers and Bible authors in the Old Testament, the saints. In Matthew 5, he told about hell. He mentioned hell there. In verse 22, last part of that verse, he says, "But whoever says you fool shall be in danger of hell fire." This is Jesus speaking. Also in Matthew 10:28, he says this, "And do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. But rather fear him who is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Satan does not have this power, only God does. Therefore, fear God." The people that Jesus preached to in those days, they already knew about hell. They had the Old Testament. They believed it was a place called Hades in Jesus' time. Ultimately, Hades will be thrown into the lake of fire, or hell. We read in Revelation 20, in verses 13 to 15, "The sea gave up the dead who were in it, and death and Hades gave up the dead who were in them. And they were judged, each one of them, according to what they had done. Then death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And if anyone's name was not found, he was thrown into the lake of fire." Don't be among those who refuse to listen to what God is saying. There's never been a time that is more imminent, or will have the imminent return of Christ than we have today. People have been saying this for years. That's why people are so complacent with it. They say, "Well, yeah, I've been told that since I was a little kid, And yet, Jesus said, "Look up, for your redemption draweth nigh." There is nothing in the Bible, no event in the Bible that has to happen. The next event is the rapture of the church. He says this in his word. How many are studying the word? Listen to what God says about those who refuse his salvation. In 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9, "Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan," this is talking about Antichrist, "with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish." He's able to deceive those who are not saved, because they receive not the love of the truth. Now these are people that run